70 reviews. The Honor 70 is an appealing telephone with great specs at the core, especially in the camera processes and plan vision. It seemed like an exceptional telephone in many ways. Sure, its plan might be disruptive. The principal disadvantages like the absence of effects, camera or remote charging are things you don't actually anticipate it from the mind range. Telephones at any rate. Now subscribe this channel, watch technical and press the bell icon. We ought to start this Honor 70 audit with one exceptional basic truth. It was difficult to populate 8 cons. Least tech traders, home style directs that we want to give 3 and it was a test to try and conquer 1. This shouldn't imply that the Honor 70 is awesome, yet it does all you accept and something else at the cost might it at some point. Having a zooming focal point, remote charging or even a higher risk shows. Indeed, however, at a value, none of those are things you would truly anticipate. Thus, the Honor 70 is a cult thought. Mid-range telephone truth be told. It feels much more like a later telephones, but most different handset we see costing like much. Furthermore, that spirity whatever method etc can't resist the urge to charm you to the gadgets. The telephone has an ice-getting plan with a back that fluent both and intelligent. Precious turn example and the shimmering impact. Some, especially the people who like the uninspiring dark telephone, could find this somewhat uncommon. Yet the sheer number of the pieces it got while we were trying to difficult to discharge. It likewise has a bandit edge, show something you seldom see in non-premium telephones that give the telephone both another exceptional component and furthermore marks it grabbles to hold in the hand. The screen is similarly basically as alluring as the plan of the telephone. It's splendid and striking and you will be blissful sitting in the front of the TV shows or messing around on it. We likewise need to feature the gadgets, noteworthy battery durations and regardless. This is the characteristics that single the Honor 70 as the mid-range telephone rather than a top-notch one we are used to seeing, except him with the disheartening battery durations, the way that the Honor 70 danced during a time of the purpose sign. It's a mild officer, however. We are content with that differentiations. We really do have to call attention to one thing that some could think about a glaring issues at hand. However, we don't. On paper, the Honor 70 doesn't appear to be excessive unique in the relations to its ancestor. The Honor 70 what has been going on with the 60s? No thought. The new telephone chipset is just that. In addition to form of the more seasoned ones, while the 70s fundamental camera is lower risk than the 50s and the charging speed screen. Gold and the front camera are something with similar on both. Not listless, the spec list doesn't really do you kitty and the client experience, and the Honor 70 feel like a move forward in all offices. The camera are perceptibly better and the telephones feel quicker than its more seasoned family members. Notwithstanding the way that the new telephones cost more and has a spec list that appear to be like the Honor 50. Trust us, the Honor 70 is a commendable move forward and it makes the telephone much more in etchings and contrast with the stalls inclinations mid-range market in 2022. The unpleasant edge of the 50 has been standed down, bringing about one of the most outstanding Android telephones this year. Honor 70 price and release date. The Honor 70 expensive $479 in the UK, which is slightly increment from the $449 beginning Cost of the Honor 50 and this for 8 GB RAM and 128 GB stockpiling. However, the ancestor had 6 GB RAM, so the cost increment might be legitimate. The beginning value convert to $570 on AU, $810. However, the Honor and FM assuming telephone with the sold in those districts. The telephone was officially sent at early tech shows IFA 2022 toward the beginning of the September. However, it was declared in China before in the years and was really placed discounted in last August only days before Honor IFA shows. Honor 70 design. The Honor 70 feel like an exceptional telephone both to check out and to hold, which made needed refresher in our ears. One most costly telephone doesn't feel extremely premium. The rear of the telephone is separated by the camera knob. Two round graded the project a lot from the rear of the gadget. This implies the handset doesn't exact sit level on surface without there being a little wobbles when you tap on the gadgets. Honor 70 display. Honor 70 has a somewhat greater presentation that in ancestor 6.67 inches broad over the 6.57 inches one. We say a year ago, we have said it a blended edge screen, separated by a poke holes cut out for the front camera at the middle top of the screen, the bezel around at the extremely thin. Honor 70 camera as astounding selling point for this point range telephone is that it donates the presentation of another camera sensor made by the Sony, the IMX800. This is a 54 MP sensor that the Honor 70 purpose in a fundamental camera. The advantages of the sensor is that it's a very enormous, allowing more to light in a photography, which bring about snaps that are more brilliant and more beautiful. Honor air handling doesn't damage to this and all thing considerations. This camera doesn't exact contrast with the fundamental one, with picture looking observably dimmer and less bright. Snap are not horrible. However, we would permit on the utilizing the fundamental camera when you can in light of the fact that photos take on that look fabulous. Honor 70 performance and spec. The processor driving the Honor 70 is the Snapdragon 788G Plus. This is the marginally superior variant of the model utilized on the Honor 50, and it's a chipset we have found in the fair barely and mid-range telephone. It's a 5G telephone. You can interfere this organization assuming that you live in a space that uphold them and have such an increment. Honor 70 software, not all like those of the experienced organization. However, had Honor's telephone accompanying Google applications. For some time, Honor telephone was remembered for the boycott. However, presently, you can get the Play Store Map, Gmail, and that should be beginning. In any case, assuming you have utilized an Android telephone previously, that the truly won't be an astonishment here. Honor 70 battery life. Honor has brought a major battery limit move up to these telephones. One day is more the accompanying with the overhaul in screen, size, processor and whatever other component that may be requesting for battery charge. There is no remote charging. However, what did you accept on the cost? Now subscribe this channel, What Technical, and press the bell icon.